Доброго дня, шановні колеги. Сьогодні в
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Today at Ukraine Crisis Media Center, we continue our project, Diplomacy Without Borders, and we have General Council of Ukraine in Frankfurt and Main via Skype, Alla Polyova. Good afternoon. So, our hearts goes out to the relatives of those who died in Berlin, and they say that a Ukrainian died in cause of this attack. Mr. Melnik said about it. So there is no confirmed information. That's why I can only say about what I've read. So it's difficult for us. We get information also from the embassy. Please tell us about the work of your agency and what projects you now implement. Our work we implement our direct activity as General Council, and as also we represent the interests of our state. This is cultural relationship with our diaspora, economic ties, and ties at the level of universities, scientific and education cooperation. So this is brief outline of our activity. So there was a book fair in Frankfurt and Main, and there was a presentation of Fourth Republic book and discussion about the importance of Ukraine for Europe. And who participated in this discussion, and what was the response of the public on this? About the fair. So this is the second fair, and for the second time there was big Ukrainian stand there, and last year it was volunteer cause. Several volunteers, including the General Council, they carried out this activity in the fair. We were involved in this activity, and this year the level was high. It was great cooperation between the state and the NGOs. It was really good, and it was at the high level. We were highly assessed by press and organizers of the book fair. Presentation of Mr. Loshkin's book. There was a presentation that was really a pearl of the fair. I participated in many discussions, but this discussion was the most needed. There was a lot of audience. It was a day when professionals attended, and it was wonderful that this book was represented in 4 languages, German included, in English, and also people were really interested in this book. There were discussions about Mr. Loshkin's book and his co-author, and also former ambassador, Mr. Schulenmark, also took part in this meeting. And what was the reaction of local residents and their reaction to Ukrainian part of exhibition? There is such a rating in Bookmaster Fair. This is an official rating. So it assesses the number of books stolen from the stand, and we were in the first 10 top stands from which books were stolen. And these books were in English and German. That's why this is the one more indicator of interest towards our books. This year, the presentation was really well structured. Each publishing house had their name, and also they represented their books on the stand. So the biggest number of stolen books of Kamilkov, The Best of Ukraine. This book was super. It was sold really greatly, and also there were some publishing houses that presented really great books in Ukrainian and English. And what about the rehabilitation of ATO servicemen and the children that are going to carry out such projects? We do not directly participate in this project, but we actively participated in the projects that were organized by Ukrainian volunteer groups that are really active here. Because, saying honestly, in Germany, they really want to help. And when we meet with mayors of towns, they always respond well on this, and volunteer groups join, or some diaspora also join, and it yields results. And this summer, there were 2 Marbursky Obosan Plus and Kharkivsky charitable organization. They brought 25 children from Kharkiv and Kharkiv oblasts, the parents of which were killed or heavily wounded. And the second group was from Zhytomyr Oblast, Novograd-Volhynsky. Ms. Sebetska lives in small town Lutexhafen, and she, for the 2nd year in a row, she organized a camp, and she is helped by local church. And also our district has 3 lands, Saarland land. This year, Lviv and Lviv Oblast children came there. They had a camp that was interesting for them. We supported our volunteers, and as volunteers took part in organization of tours for children. Children and their parents, they didn't spend any kopeck for these trips. And is Ukraine in the focus of attention of the German media, in scientific and the business circles, and what are the main ideas and how did they change starting 2014 and till 2016, and what to expect in 2017?
Permanently in 2014, Ukraine was perceived as a territory where the war is ongoing. It was fear, of course, thought how they can cooperate besides humanitarian area, in which also area they can cooperate with us. After that, after our narrations, we told much, we explained that the war is ongoing only on the part of the territory of Ukraine, which is very small, and scientific research cooperation and regional institutions cooperation in Ivano-Frankivsk, Lviv, Zakarpattia regions. We have only one city which has twinning city partner, Uzhgorod. After a long time of stagnation, absolute stagnation and cooperation, they want again to renew, to restore the economic ties. They are very interested in Ukraine now. And what about Ukrainian topics in mass media? Are they present? Are they covered? It is covered when we have escalation of the situation at the front line. When we tell about local mass media sources, of course, they are glad to cover the topics. Ukrainian children are provided some rest, and German people, they offer some free of charge camps for children's rest, and children can have rest here, and young German people, they demonstrate their positive attitude. Both Ukrainian and Russian diasporas are available in in Germany. Well, Ukrainian diaspora consists of former Ukrainian citizens who remain in spirit Ukrainians, and they are volunteering. To tell about Russian diaspora, in Germany, I will not tell about the whole Germany. In Frankfurt am Main, there is no Ukrainian printing source, even a small one, free of charge. We were distributed when I came here, Russian language newspapers. 3 or 4 newspapers are published in Frankfurt am Main, and people, they got used to trust into printed sources. So our state should help develop Ukrainian language printed mass media sources. Have you already asked this for this from Ukrainian state? I hope that the ministry will hear us. Of course, we communicate with the ministry to us. There was Ministry of Culture and our ambassador, and from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, there were representatives at the book fair in Frankfurt am Main, and we talked that this element is very important. Ukrainian internet, Ukrainian TV channel, they are coded. It is impossible to watch them. Of course, Ukrainian diaspora members would read Ukrainian printed sources because they do not want Russian channels, Russian TV channels. They do not want to watch them. In Germany, there will be lectures elections next year, what do you think? What we should expect? What Ukraine should expect? And shall we have support from Germany in future? I'm sure we will have support from Germany, but of course, in Germany, after the events the day before yesterday in Germany, the ultra-right forces, they are rising, and this is the fear of Germany. Some time in the past, Germany experience the ultra-right wing rise, and they do not want repeat of this scene. Mr. Trifonov is the famous journalist, and he told that the fear make us aggressive, so it was the call on German society not to be afraid and to stop negative scenarios next year. I can't make the forecast, but the right party would not win in total, but their percentage, their support percentage is high, unfortunately. Thank you very much for your time, which you devoted to us. This is the end of our event. Thank you for your invitation. I am very glad to answer your questions. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.